Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Football Fignuts podcast. This is episode number 103 overall, or season 3, episode 3. I am Britt.
I'm Craig.
I'm Sinch.
I'm Sean.
And we are back together again because we are just blitzing through our ratings. We are so excited to be bringing this to you guys as a group. But first, let's start where we always start. Who's got a beer?
I have the beer.
All right, Sean, that's a Collective Arts can.
That is Collective Arts.
Which one?
It is Ransack the Universe.
I love this beer, which makes me sad because
Really?
I'm not drinking this beer. Yes.
This is a good beer.
This is my favorite of the Collective Arts.
Bush.
Oh.
That was just a little splatter. That's fine. This is my
happens.
favorite. This is their double IPA. This is my favorite of theirs. They're based out of Canada, Toronto, I believe, but they are brewing in Stratford as part of a exchange with Two Roads, #sponsor us. But they're building a facility in Brooklyn.
Really?
Yes, they're building their own brewing facility in Brooklyn. They have really taken hold here in the States. So they are...
Have they been around for a while?
I believe so, up there. And one of the cool things about them is they use local artists on their cans.
It's cool can art.
And
I
mean,
appreciate good can art.
It's like album covers, right? Or something like that?
it's just random artists.
Oh, okay.
It's artists, but I mean, you brought was it IPA number 6 because it had a cool cloud icon on it
Yeah.
one time. We've had them before. So I think you've had Ransack before, but I don't know if
I
Sinch
may
and
have.
Sean have. So I'm curious to see what they think of it. Have at it, gentlemen. Everyone's sticking their nose into it, taking a good sip. Let's start with Sinch. Sinch, what do you think?
Tastes like beer.
Sinch likes it. Sean, what do you think? He's like Mikey. He likes it.
It tastes like beer. I mean, at first notes, I don't taste anything like really distinguishing about it that makes
Okay.
it different from other IPAs. But it's not. I like it.
It's a solid, just regular double IPA.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's very dry on the back end.
It is very dry on the back end. I love it. I could sit there and drink this all day long. Well, I couldn't because I die from alcohol
Well, I mean,
poisoning.
well,
Because it's like
You have to
8,
space
it's like
it out.
6%. So.
6.8.
All right, let's move on to hot take questions. Who's got a question for me?
Sean does.
Sean, you got a question
You got a
for me.
question?
Sean, we're going to
Sean's-
talk about wide receivers. Is there anything burning about wide receivers you'd like to talk about? You know what? I'm going to feed you one.
All right.
All right. Let's talk about the Chicago wide receivers.
Okay.
Who we got in Chicago these days?
Allen Robinson. We have Taylor Gabriel. We have the rookie from last year, Anthony Miller.
Okay.
And we have picked up Cordell Patterson, and we drafted a Ridley, not the good Ridley from Atlanta, but I think his cousin.
So you and I both ranked Trubisky. So I guess then my question to you, from you to you, would be, who are we expecting to catch the ball that you and I both think Trubisky has potential this year?
I mean, I think he's going to spread it around, actually. So that's why I don't have any of the wide receivers in Chicago ranked up really high.
Pick one.
I think the highest, I mean, because of his proven nature, I have Robinson just
Okay.
because he's there. But, Miller, the rookie, had 10 touchdowns last year? No, not that many. But he had a high rate of touchdowns for a rookie, so I don't see him. He could be up there as well. But Taylor Gabriel is the quick guy in that spot, so he can catch the ball in those slot receiving spots.
Cinch, any thoughts in Chicago?
Who's the next Kevin White?
Yeah, well,
They got Hester still, right?
no, that's Cordell Patterson now.
Do either of you guys? Does anybody on that Chicago wideout do it for you?
Plus, I think Burton's going to have a good year as well, so
Okay.
I think he's going to spread the ball around to all
I
of
won't,
them.
I won't have anyone on that team
At all?
out of the receivers. I won't
Okay.
have any of those guys on my.
Okay. All right.
That's fair.
Cinch, what have you got for us that's burning?
Just looking at the rankings, I can't understand how Thielen is so low. We haven't gotten to the rankings yet, but that's got
We
me
will
burning.
get there, and we will give you a moment. We'll give you a minute to rant on Thielen when we get there. So what I'm hearing from Cinch is that the gentleman would like to defer his question until later in the program. Craig, what do you got?
I'd like to know from you as a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
One of the Chiefs' defensive backs just tore his ACL.
Oh,
I'm sorry, his Achilles
just
tendon,
now?
like an hour ago.
What happened?
Does it matter?
Yes. I'm always yes.
Not to the rest of us, but to you.
Who? I need a name.
Who's that guy?
It would be Keith Reeser.
I don't
Next
know who
man
that
up.
is.
He's not a real guy.
That's not a real name.
All right, well, I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm a little less panicky now.
All right, good.
Here's the
good.
problem: the Chiefs are going to be utilizing this year as part of their work inside the stadium. They are going to have a lucky seat winner who gets to play in the second half on the defense. That is how bad and how thin the defense is. So I'm not really. I don't have the high hopes for the Kansas City defense at all. So
Okay.
that's that. So all right.
All right.
My burning hot take question has to do with something I haven't thought of yet.
All right.
Oh, okay. So I want to talk about the Giants wide receiving core.
Huh.
Okay, or lack thereof.
Can you still call him that when there's just like one guy left?
Yes, for the moment.
Who is he?
So Golden Tate suspended because he wanted to have a baby. Sterling Shepard has broken his thumb. He's probable or questionable for week 1. They're probably going to put him in some sort of mechanical thing that's going to not allow him to catch the ball at all.
Yeah, it's called Eli Manning.
Right.
Corey Coleman tore his ACL.
Corey Coleman is done. Is done. So there is literally what's his name's kid is catching the ball there.
Oh my God, who else
So
is
now I'll tell you who they have left. They have Benny Fuller
Benny Fuller. Yep.
and Darius Slayton, who is now questionable.
What did Slayton do? My God. Oh, and the other guy. What's his name? The Hall of Famers kid is there. Somebody Junior. Oh, for the love of cheese. Who's that guy?
Hey, you invented him, not us.
It's
While you're
So
looking at
Hold on. I
basically,
got it.
Basically, all receiving sets are.
Oh, Reggie
Barkley
White Jr.
No.
Oh.
Reggie White's kid is there. Oh, you guys.
Okay.
Why is no one talking about Britton Golden? Britton Golden is there.
he is?
I don't even know who Britton Golden is. That's not true. I've heard the name. But
Anyhow,
You're the one guy talking
the
about
only
it.
receiver is.
yes.
So the only receiver there is Engram and Barkley out of the backfield.
Yes, pretty much.
So that's it.
Pretty much. So what the hell are the Giants going to do? There's my burning hot take question. What the hell are the Giants going to do? Are they just going to suck?
Daniel Jones
He's going to catch the ball?
at wideout.
I don't think Eli can hit him, but that's
I don't
beside the
even
point.
know.
All right, let's move on to our rankings. So this is our wide receiver rankings. Wide receivers are not super deep, not super thin. They're kind of just are. So let's just jump right into the first tier. Our top 3 are all pretty closely ranked together. Julio Jones is our consensus number 1. Devontae Adams comes at number 2, and DeAndre Hopkins comes in at number 3. So we did have one person whose name would be Craig, who put Devontae Adams at number 1. So Craig, I'm going to ask you to defend that in a second. And DeAndre Hopkins was the number 1 on Sean and Sinch's list. So let's go right down the line. Julio Jones was my number 1. So why was Julio Jones my number 1? Very simple. Julio Jones had a bizarre stat that I told Sinch about the other day, which was yards per route run. They take the number of routes you actually run. Not like when you run out 5 yards and start blocking somebody, or not when you do like a 3-step lazy. Actual routes. Anyone who gets 3 or more is considered elite. Julio Jones led the league last year with 2.93 yards per route run. Thank you, Pro Football Focus, for that stat. That is, Julio Jones does not catch touchdowns, but he catches everything else. He's going to get you yardage. If you're in a PPR, he is PPR gold. I'm not worried about it. Is anybody worried about Julio Jones?
I'm worried about his injury history, but
How many games did he miss in the last 3 years?
that's
I'm
a good
looking it
question.
up.
Look it up.
I'm looking it up.
I mean, other
Did he
than
play full? I don't think he played full seasons.
other than the injury risk with him, I guess it would be the back to the old regress of touchdowns. You know, I mean,
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of touch. He has a lot of yards.
He has a lot of yards, but the touchdowns, you know, can bring you down. I mean, a PPR, you know, really good standard brings it down a notch. Even though he did have he did uptick in touchdowns last year, but
All right,
I think it was only after like week 6 or something like that.
So the last 5 seasons, 2014 through 2018, Julio Jones has missed a combined 3 games.
I feel like he's been more than that.
He's on the list every week. He played 16 games in 2018, 16 games in 2017, 14 games in 2016, a full season in 2015, and 15 games in 2014. The year before that, in 2013, was the year he had a significant injury. He only played in 5 games that year. That was the year after his breakout season. His worst season since 2014 is 1,400 yards on 129 catches. How is he not the consensus number one? Oh, wait, he is, but you don't all subscribe to that. That's where it is. But
so last 3 years in touchdowns, 6, 3, and 8.
1,400 yards.
So what's more important to you,
Unless
yardage
it's
or touchdowns?
In anything but a standard league, yardage, points. What scores points? I'll take 1,400 yards if it's going to cost me 5 touchdowns. The points are there. That's 140 points in a PPR, and that's not counting the touches. That's just in the yardage.
All right, it's a fair argument.
You know, it's just sometimes if you watch a Falcon game, it feels like you could go a whole 40 minutes of real time without a pass being thrown his way.
That's a fair
It's
point.
really
He's
frustrating.
feast or famine.
And if you have him on your team, just 1 year, just one season, could be 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And
again,
he just doesn't kind of, like, he's good. He's
and
all right,
again,
he's good.
it's looking at it too, because Hopkins, who's the number 2, 15,
Hopkins is
72
3.
yards, about the same many catches, but 11 touchdowns.
How many
Year
games
before
has
that,
he missed in the last 4 years?
Hopkins?
Yes.
I don't
It's
have
more
that.
than Julio Jones has missed.
Well, you know what, though? We're not separating the 2 or the 3 or the 4 top guys by a lot.
Right. It's very close.
It's, all right, you're going to pick, I'm going to pick. You'd rather have this guy, I'd rather have this guy. That's
And
it.
again, there's where I come in with my, hey, look who they're playing against, their defenses against receivers. I'd rather have this guy.
Fair enough. Devontae Adams was your consensus one. He's your one. He's our consensus two. Craig, why Devontae Adams?
He was, because I know Sinch loves the Packers and he loves Aaron Rodgers. So
I feel as if I'm being misrepresented here.
no, but I think the Packers are going to make good offensive changes this year as long as they figure out their running back
Actually,
issues.
to be fair, you did, since
What
your
running back
ranking
issue?
of Devontae Adams is lower than any of ours.
That's right. Well, I didn't rank him 15th or anything.
As long as Aaron Rodgers doesn't
fifth, I
fall
think,
over
yeah.
and break his other collarbone, because he probably has 3. I think that's going to...
You have Juju Smith-Schuster ranked ahead of Devontae Adams. That's kind of a hot take.
I believe he's better.
Wow, there's a hot take.
Juju's the number 1 receiver on an offense that wants to throw the ball, that scores a lot of points.
I want a lot of things too. Don't mean they're going to happen.
Green Bay doesn't want to throw the ball.
Well, I don't really care what Green Bay wants. Green Bay wants to make the playoffs more often than they do, too.
You know what I want? I want to hear the
Garbage
two
time,
of you tell me why we should draft DeAndre Hopkins, and then you're going to open a beer. So this is this is it. Can't open the beer until you defend DeAndre Hopkins. Why DeAndre Hopkins? You guys rated him at number 1. Tell me.
I think it's easy. He's better.
He's broken.
There you go.
He's better. You want yards? He's going to have similar, if not more yards. You want touchdowns? He has more touchdowns.
Nobody does a better job of catching balls while falling out of bounds, tiptoeing. Nobody does it better than DeAndre
You know
Hopkins.
what? Here's the thing.
Gotta give him that.
I've had both guys on my team.
Yeah.
Julio will make some great catches. There are times where he doesn't catch. I'm not saying it's an easy ball, but there's balls he doesn't catch. If you have DeAndre Hopkins on your team and there's a minute 30 left in the first half and they have the ball, he's catching 3 balls.
That's true.
And if they get a touchdown, better odds than not, he's the guy scoring the touchdown.
That's true. Sean.
I agree with. I just think that he's younger. He's again, just the way you see the offensive work. I think it works through Hopkins a lot more than it works through Jones. I know that's saying a little bit, but they still have.
You
Freeman
trust Deshaun Watson?
more than who they have?
I don't know who you're talking about. You're talking about
more
Julio?
than Matt Ryan.
Matt
Thank
Ryan.
you. Brain fart. Sorry, guys. But
Of the 3, I trust Watson.
I would say so. I would say Watson over.
Watson's a guy who, if he were to be a top 3, a top 5 quarterback at the end of the year, no one would be stunned. He has ability.
Right.
It could happen. It's not, saying Fitzmagic.
Oh, here we go.
It's not saying Fitzmagic's going to be a top 5 guy because that's not going to happen.
He will be by week 8, and then after that,
It's not even the start.
I have to say this, and then we're opening this beer. I have to say this just because we have poked Craig so much the last 2 days.
Bush.
The last couple episodes, we have poked him so much. We have yet to discuss with Sean in the room the magic that is Blake Bortles. When are we going to talk about Blake Bortles? He didn't make the rankings. He's not here in the wide receiver list. He's not having any beer with us. Why aren't we talking about Blake Bortles? Oh, we're talking about Blake Bortles. All right. Well, we're going to talk about
license plates.
We're going to talk about Nimble Giant by Trogs. I think it's called Trogs. I don't know. It's a beer.
Something.
And then that way I can stop doing the voice. But I haven't talked about Blake Bortles in a long time, so I got to talk about Blake Bortles.
Now, just so you know, we're trying to split 2 cans of beer.
Which is
between
why I'm talking
3
about Blake
people.
Bortles, is because
Blake Bortles
we've
is
got-
non-existent.
Listen. We've got 32 ounces of beer and 3 glasses. That is not an even distribution. You have 10 point something ounces here. Just
He's a
down it.
professional.
I'm a professional. Oh, actually, I formally retired from beer pouring today.
Yeah, but you were still a professional.
I am.
So-
I am still.
But,
I
but
formally
if they don't
retired.
file the paperwork, you're still able to come back.
Yeah, I might post a workout video and jump out of a pool. So let's see what happens. All
Hey-o.
right, let's see what we got. Okay, so Cinch is pointing at it. He's like, pick up the glass, Sean. So
It is Nimble Giant.
there's details on the
which
back
is
side of it.
from Trogs.
Yep. Tell us what is it? 9%.
Not to be confused with truck
It is 9%.
Truck door.
9%.
Yes.
9%. You don't have to drive. You're fine.
It says once a year, so they only make this once a year?
That would usually be what once a year means.
Okay. It's just like randomly
Maybe
put
it's
on the
really
can.
bad, and you're only going to buy it once a year.
Sorry, guys.
No,
Double-
it's really
Somebody
good.
drink it.
Having had some just now, it's very good. And it's the kind of beer that's good, and it tastes strong at the same time, but it tastes good.
So I'll read. It's a double IPA that boasts grapefruit rind, pineapple, and honeysuckle notes
Yeah,
with a hint of
I would like it.
earthy forest floor. Okay.
And you found this at our hidden place that I won't say the name of on the air. Yep. Cinch is nodding. All right, I'm stopping it
The
tomorrow.
hidden place.
So Craig, you're the flavor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you getting here?
Craig really is. If there's a hidden flavor there, Craig's gonna find it.
I get the pineapple out of all 3 of those.
Really, I don't. It just tastes like a good.
No, it's good.
But I'm saying
very
I can't.
It's clear. Not,
I don't
not
get-
clear.
It-
but
there's good light penetration. Real good light
I get
penetration
the
on it.
pineapple in the middle,
I could smell the pineapple.
Rate it
and then
quick.
it kind of dries out on the bottom.
Rate it.
4.
I like this a lot.
That's
4 or
not a
5.
number.
4 or 5.
Only Cinch gets the I like it or not like it.
4.5.
4.5. All right.
I like beer.
All right, speaking of people we like, the bottom part of this tier, there's a short drop off to our number 4, who at the moment is Mike Thomas.
Now, I'd like to point out really quick, we made these rankings before people are sitting out and got hurt.
Well, that's true. So here's the question: right behind Mike Thomas is Juju Smith-Schuster, who is, in my mind, the first person in the next tier based on our rankings. Do we move Mike Thomas behind Juju Smith-Schuster now?
No.
Anybody? No.
No.
I think Thomas is better.
I think Thomas is going to show up too. I think
Yeah.
they're going to get this done before the start of the season.
I think they will.
Okay, so
But again, I thought they were going to do that with Bell. So who knows?
Smith-Schuster's at 5.
Wait. So the important question then is, if you have the 4th pick in the draft, say, are you going to take Thomas? Being snake bitten last year,
Well, not
is
the
that going
fourth
to
pick,
affect you
because
this?
at least
Well,
three of
let's
those
say-
running
Spot.
backs.
Don't.
Let's
But
say
if it's between Thomas and
if Thomas
Schuster,
is the best receiver there,
yes, and
You
you
know
need a
what?
receiver.
draft him, or are you
Yes.
going to say I'm not going to get
I would
burned
you know
again?
what?
I would take
Because
Thomas.
because I was snake bit, I might go Schuster.
I would draft Thomas.
But would you go to the next name down the list? Number 6, Odell Beckham Jr.
No.
Cinch, your thoughts on Odell Beckham Jr.?
I think he is rated where he should be ranked. He's very good. I think he'll have a very good year. I think he is the first guy down. I would put 2 guys over him right now.
Okay. We're going to move on. We're not going to ask
All right.
Craig about anything about having to do with the Cleveland Browns, so we're just going to move on.
I'm just saying he compared himself to Tom Brady.
Oh, here we go. He's going to talk anyway. He's just going to
We'll discuss that later.
Odell Beckham Jr. compared himself to Tom Brady?
Yes.
I don't think Tom Brady ever kicked a net and got hit in the head.
Well,
So, all right. So we had Beckham at 6. We have Mike Evans at 7. I'm ashamed of all of you. This is mainly because the expert list we put down, believe it or not, has Mike Evans at 4.
No.
That is disgusting.
No.
Mike
Not
Evans.
at all.
They
It's
have
just
Mike
too
Evans.
high,
I
yeah.
just want to put this out. They have Mike Evans ranked ahead of Mike Thomas, ahead of Smith-Schuster, ahead of Odell Beckham. No.
I mean, if you
I am
maybe-
tired of hearing about how good Mike Evans is going to be. I'm tired of hearing about it. Now, this comes up with the next name on our list is where we have to have some discussion because, again, we did these a week or so ago, and the next name down on our list, number 8, is Tyreek Hill. This was done literally hours before it came out that he is not going to get suspended. By the way, hashtag Britt was right the whole time about that. Do we have to move Tyreek Hill up now?
I would move him up a little, but I still think something may come up during the year that is going to make him not.
He's going to live his best life from this point forward. There's going to be no further issues. None.
You definitely have to move uphill, and I am offended
Why are you offended?
because the NFL did nothing.
You think they should have suspended him?
I think just on bad press, just on looks alone, he could have gotten a 2-game and no one would have argued it.
He would have argued it.
I don't think he would have argued it. For a 2-game suspension for everything he got, Ray Rice punched someone, got a 4-game, and then when video proof came out, well, then that was the end for him.
Ray Rice admitted there was an issue, though, and was arrested. Tyreek Hill was not arrested or charged.
My issue is he gets nothing, and Golden Tate gets 4 games for a fertility drug that he was prescribed to get.
But they're
Which
different
he told the NFL
policies.
about.
They're different
Completely
policies.
different
I still
thing.
say it's different things, but it's still
a suspension.
What the heck
Adrian
is the
Peterson
I
in the
mean,
switch.
there is definitely a
See-
problem there if he's getting 4 games and Hill gets nothing.
My problem
definitely
with
a
the
problem.
Hill thing is he had a history. Something happened in college. Wasn't the girlfriend in college. Something happened with him in college. He was kicked out of his college. He went to a second school. They would not accept him because of the background check and the information they had. So whatever level you believe about it, he has a history. Okay.
He
so
has a history.
if we could agree he has a history. Now something comes up. All right. So if he's an angel, he did nothing. This was all his wife, fiance, girlfriend, however you want to say it. If it was all her, the kid's not living with him. The kid was placed in foster care.
Correct.
Okay, well, where's all the court paperwork where Hill is fighting to get full custody of his kid?
I don't think that's...
Well, I don't think. I mean, obviously we can debate morality all we want, but our job here is now that he's not suspended, where is he going to be?
Okay,
And
obviously.
obviously you are going to rank him higher because you had him
I had
lot
him
lower
thinking he was going to be suspended.
a lot
for
lower
of
than
time.
any of us. So I think where I had him at 7th, maybe a spot or 2, but I don't think he it's a big difference for me. Maybe it's a little bit bigger for you.
It's a big difference for me because
Yep.
I figured he's going to get 8 games. He's going to get 6
so
games.
it would definitely move you probably up,
Hill,
3 spots.
I
maybe.
would move him above Evans. I don't like Evans.
Mhm.
I would move him above Odell Beckham because Hill's a guy who is going to consistently
Okay.
do it, where Beckham will have a great game and then an
so
okay game.
would you put him above Hopkins, Adams, Jones, Schuster,
We
or
used
Thomas?
to have a podcast.
So 6.
No. Britt,
Yeah,
We used to have a podcast.
what do you say, Britt?
My opinion used to matter. Okay, so I got a lot to go there.
6 there.
No one is saying Tyreek Hill is innocent.
Nope.
What I'm saying is there is a sufficient amount of evidence that this is a setup by an individual who has financial interests at heart over the safety of her son, that it is not something the NFL can act on. Tyreek Hill would have instant probable cause to sue the NFL because there is at least the possibility that he did nothing wrong.
Okay, wait. In the NFL, in NFL speak,
Yeah.
he doesn't have to do anything wrong. It could just be the impression, the image, hurting the image of the NFL is enough
Correct.
to get a suspension.
But who would be the person damaging the shield in that situation?
Okay, but again, I'm not saying your take on it is wrong.
Right.
It could have been her all along doing everything.
And I'm not saying it was.
but
I'm saying
she
you
is not
can't.
an NFL player.
Right.
He is. If it was nothing, the Chiefs would not have sent him home, suspended him from off-season.
Well, they have to do the
activities.
investigation.
But I'm saying he was sent. He was told, "Stay away. Don't come
Yes.
here."
Because the
Okay.
investigation had to be complete in the
All right,
in the
well.
real in the world that Sean and I live in, when there's an investigation in art, that's what they do. You're put off of shift. Now here's the bottom line. Tyreek Hill did get kicked out of Oklahoma State in 2014. He then went and played an entire season in 2015. Where the hell was he? University of West Alabama. Very fine school. Played an entire year there. Had no problem. Played 2 years for the Chiefs with no problem. Then all of a sudden this stuff comes up. People have something to gain here. This is not a clean situation. In other situations like this, we had witnesses, we had videotape. The only thing we have is an audio tape that was doctored to put him in the worst possible light and conveniently released the day after they said they couldn't charge him. That is way too convenient.
Let's accept everything Britt just said. We accept all of it. We're moving on. And the next thing I would say is you're the Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
You're speaking for the Chiefs now. Are you giving Tyreek Hill the 6-year, $140 million contract?
Right now he's got to be traded like Des Bryant. Remember when Des Bryant had all his altercations and finally Jerry Jones said...
Wait a minute. He didn't have any altercations. It was a setup.
No, Des Bryant had issues.
I'm talking about Tyreek Hill.
No, but I'm saying this is how you...
telling me you
Can I finish? This was my podcast once upon a time. Okay? Listen, Des Bryant had all those altercations. He said, I want a lot of money. Jerry Jones said, I'm going to give you a lot of money. And you know what's come with that lot of money? Security that report to me and are following you everywhere. Take it or leave it. That's what the Chiefs need to do. The Chiefs need to sit there and go, you're either completely innocent of what happened here or you dodged a bullet. It's not ours to say, but we're not taking the chance. You want the money? It's our terms. And that's what they're going to have to do. And it does not make a difference whether or not he's innocent or not. Look at Ezekiel Elliott. The dude cannot stay out of trouble. If I see Ezekiel Elliott at a country festival, of course I'm dumping my beer on him because if he slugs me, I'm rich. I'm not an idiot. People are going to take advantage of it.
Quick aside.
Yeah.
About Zeke, and I know we're on receivers.
Yeah.
Quick aside. Jerry Jones said that Jerry Jones' Cowboys can win all of Jerry Jones' games without Zeke. And he does not need Zeke.
Wasn't it that you did not need a elite running back to win a championship? That was what it was.
Don't.
Or a rushing champion.
So wait a minute. How many times have the Cowboys won championships without an elite rusher? Because all of the titles in my lifetime came with...
In general, that statement's true.
Who can remember the last time the Cowboys won a championship?
I was in college, I think.
If you go back and look, the last...
Hey, Walter Payton didn't score any touchdowns in that Super Bowl.
The last rushing champion that won a title, I think it was... Terrell Davis, yeah.
That year they were 1-2.
I mean,
that was him and what's his name from Atlanta.
19 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. All right, so moving on. I gotta go on my trial hill.
We went on a rant.
Yeah, Sean is like saying, Britt, we're supposed to be on the clock here. I gotta move Tyreek Hill up to probably 5 on my list. I gotta put him behind Mike Thomas and ahead of Juju Smith-Schuster. That's where I would have him now. The next name down on the list, number 9, is Antonio Brown. We're all pretty level-headed on Antonio Brown. Why? Why is Antonio Brown up here? Why do we feel like this is going to matter?
Talent. Just talent.
But he was a consensus number 1 last year.
Yeah, but you also have to take
into
account...
the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. You have to take into account new team, different dynamic. I think it just lowers him, but we could be wrong. I mean, he could be higher.
So
but I think you have to be level-headed about it. You have to bring it down.
Here's my issue with it. Is that we've got Antonio Brown at 9. The next 3 guys on the list, I all think are better. Adam Thielen, T.Y. Hilton, Keenan Allen. All better than... Well, I've actually put T.Y. and Keenan...
I don't think they're better.
You think they're better, like, athletically, or they're just on better teams?
I think they're going to give me more fantasy points.
Garbage time could be better for the Raiders. I mean,
true.
You know what? How much does the coach affect it? Because I don't think Gruden is a good coach, and I think he's going to milk the clock with his running game.
He does
taking
milk the clock with the
opportunities
running game.
away from the receivers.
He does.
So where you're saying,
but
hey, junk points at the end of the game, I don't think the opportunity will be there with the running game that they want.
If it's not working out, if they're
he still
behind
has 9
still
years
because...
or 8 years left on his deal.
No, not him. But if it's not working out and they're 20 points behind, guess what? They're still chucking the ball.
Yeah. But let's move on to that. So we got Brown at 9 and Thielen at 10. 2 of the people in this room put Thielen well outside the top 10, and that would be Sean and Craig. They put him around 14. Why so down on Thielen? Craig, you haven't said anything in like an hour.
Whoa.
I'm offended.
Yeah, Sinch has taken a
Bear
very
almost
defensive
flew
posture.
everywhere.
By the way, this is Cinch's hot take. By the way, why are we so down on Thielen?
So wait, we're gonna give you guys a chance to defend, and then we're gonna hear from
My thing with
Sinch.
Thielen is that A, he got hurt last year. B, he now has Kirk Cousins throwing for him.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins thrown last year too.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins
Yeah,
was
it
there
Was
last
it
year.
last
son.
year?
Yeah, it was.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure? I'm gonna look that up right now.
So okay.
Cousins
Anyway.
was there all of last
Well,
year.
while he's looking that up, Sean,
boy.
why are you down on
So
Thielen?
my reasoning is a lot more substantial.
In fact, based
All right, so
apparently.
Kirk Cousins
Actually,
said
no,
Kirk
it's
Cousins
not.
said last year he was a mediocre quarterback, and he said he needs to change. So you're telling me he can change?
I can change. You
I-
can change. We all can
Thielen
change.
was on a astronomical kind of plane. I don't think for the first 6 weeks,
Something like that.
and he came down.
And
to
they had to
earth.
throw a lot because
So-
their running
so
back was
I'm
hurt.
here with facts.
So he came back down to earth in the last 8 weeks
Did.
of that season.
So you're telling me you're going to say that
I
they're-
know I have Diggs and him ranked, high.
You're going to say
They're
the
14 and 15.
the fact that Dalvin Cook got hurt didn't affect Thielen's numbers, that they had to throw more?
Absolutely did. But Cook got hurt in
Absolutely.
day one. Didn't
He did.
Did
But
ever-
now
did-
now he's coming back this year. You don't think that's going to affect their
You don't think
throwing
he's going to
numbers?
get hurt again?
I think because he was back last year too, but
Not really.
He's
Not,
No,
now-
Cook played
he's
really
well, he,
now-
okay,
All right,
he
all right,
was, but not
all right.
really.
All right, order in the court. Cinch, 3 minutes uninterrupted. Tell them why they're wrong.
Oh, God.
Okay, so
3
last
minutes.
season, Thielen, 113 catches, 1373 yards, 9 touchdowns.
Yep.
All right, it's a fluke because he's got this great Cousins or he's got bad Cousins or never mind his Cousins.
We all
So the
got
year
Cousins.
before, 17 with his
Teams would
quarterback.
know him now.
Who's the quarterback? He's now in
Yeah.
What were we talking
He
about?
was in
What?
Denver.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum, thank
Case
you.
Keenum,
Case
yes.
Keenum was his quarterback. 91 receptions, 1,276 yards. That's 2 great seasons in a row. He only had 4 touchdowns that year. Okay, fine.
Okay.
But that's over 200 receptions for 2,600 yards over the last 2 years. You got guys that are better. Check Odell Beckham's numbers. Those numbers aren't better. He's not better.
Yeah, injury related though. I mean, that's part of
Well,
it too.
you know what? Injury related or not, his numbers aren't better. We're talking about numbers. Who's given us the most numbers, the most points? Thielen
Okay.
deserves to be higher.
60-second rebuttal. Go.
Thielen's in Minnesota. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. I hate
Dalvin
Minnesota.
Cook is going to take
It's
away their
that-
passing
No,
plays.
It's a fair
I think
point.
I think Cook is gonna have a little bit more to play. I think Diggs is gonna be a little bit better with that team.
Also, it's like Mahomes' thing. Like, everyone knows they're going to throw a Thielen now.
Yeah, and it's
not a
another
secret
year
anymore.
Of like I said, I think if you look at he was on an astronomical rate the first few weeks of the year. He definitely went down the last 8 weeks, I think it was.
And it was...
I mean, granted, it wasn't, but I think it's enough that guys like Hilton, Allen, and Evans
Okay,
and Cooper could be higher than him.
I gotta stop you. Last thought from Cinch. We gotta move on.
Anyone out there who drafts Thielen or had Thielen last year, I would like to draft him again this year. It all goes the way it goes. You'll see. He's a 10 reception for 120 yard, 2 touchdown a game kind of guy.
And Cinch just changed the name of his team to Hook on a Thielen.
No.
Okay.
Title of the
will not happen.
podcast.
All right,
Title of the
Sean, we're
podcast.
moving on. All right, so Thielen we got at 10. 11, we've got T.Y. Hilton. To me, T.Y. is all about staying healthy. We'll see if he can do that. Number 12 is a little bit of a shock to me because last year he was much higher, so I'm going to talk about that, and that's Keenan Allen. We talk about Phillip Rivers and the high-powered offense. They're trying to get stuff. Henry's back. If they can get Gordon in the backfield with Eckler back there, this could be really big. But we're all a little cool on Keenan Allen, and 2 of us, me and Craig, are really cool on him. Why are you not? What? No, you be quiet. It's Craig's turn to talk. You sit there and drink your beer. Craig has said 3 words, and we're a half hour in. Craig, tell me why you're not big on Keenan Allen. It's like wrangling cats, folks.
It really is. There's just
Craig,
something...
you're wrong.
Wow.
Is injury history?
No.
No.
No, it's not.
Okay. Is it
me,
the San
it's,
Diego hate?
No, not really.
I don't think Craig hates San Diego.
I don't hate San Diego, but again, like, here's the thing. For me, again, because everything that's happening in San Diego with Gordon, with their tight ends, I just think their offense is just...
They're not in San Diego.
Yeah, I
What?
know.
They're in LA now.
They're
in
San
LA.
Diego
Sorry.
It's
Chargers.
formerly known as San
Sorry.
Diego.
Just like the Padres.
Okay, so
So anyway,
No, they're
the
in San
LA,
Diego.
the
No,
LA
they are.
Chargers.
There
Sorry.
you go.
we're going to give
Chargers.
Craig a break on this one because the next name down our list is somewhere we're probably going to have to move anyway. At
Yep.
number 13, we had AJ
Who
Green.
is now out for 8 weeks.
And we're going to give Craig a break on that one because Craig needs to now defend his life because he had AJ Green at number 4. Craig, what the hell?
did. Well, that was before he got hurt.
5. Number 5. Craig had this
So
is
8
before he
weeks
got
brings
hurt.
him to where?
Oh, Craig. Come
Craig
on.
had
I just
AJ
saw
Green
that.
as the 5th best wide
Yeah.
receiver. He had him ranked again
Sure.
ahead of Keenan Allen, T.Y.
Yep.
Hilton, Adam Thielen, Antonio Brown, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Odell Beckham Jr.
How many of those people
Juju
are on new
Smith-Schuster.
teams? The Bengals have
Oh.
a brand new coach
jeez.
with a new offense that's coming from a team that made it to the Super Bowl with a high-powered offense. Everything was set up perfectly for him to have an outstanding year, and then he tore ligaments in his ankle.
First Sean and then Cinch. Sean.
I'll give him a little bit of a bias because it's his team, but I mean, he's always has injuries concerns. So you have to bring him down a little bit. I mean,
That's my next question.
talent wise, he is definitely top 5, but there's just so many concerns. Quarterback,
As you can see, his injury
quarterback
happened again.
injury.
All right, I want to get to Cinch on
I
this.
strongly disagree talent-wise he's top 5, but moving on.
Yeah,
AJ Green's out until maybe
September.
week 3. Maybe week 3.
Well,
he
because
returns
it's
in week
6 to
3.
8 weeks
Now.
from now,
Yeah.
and he's
Okay,
got
well-
like 4 weeks. So yeah, 3
But
to 4
I'm
weeks.
saying he's back in, say, week 3, week 4.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, Craig. New offense, new head coach, new whatever you want to say.
Yep.
What do you think the Bengals win this year? I think best case scenario, they're a 7-win. And that's best case scenario.
I
So
have
I'm
them
just
at
curious what you think.
9 and 7.
9? Where
Yep.
do you get 9 wins?
But see, that tells me something about how you feel about the receiver. If you think the team could overachieve to the point that no one else in the room agrees with, then I think you're overrating the receiver higher than everyone else in the room.
So,
Yeah.
I
Okay,
mean,
we're done
that's
picking
fair.
on Craig. We're
That's
done
fair.
picking on Craig for a little bit. So let's move on. That was number 13. So number 14 is Brandon Cooks. No, we're all picking on Craig's.
Sorry.
Number 14 is Brandon
It's all
Cooks,
right.
who
You're all Met fans, so
It's true.
that's
we,
fine.
we all have our crosses to bear.
And we are all celebrating the trade of Jason Vargas.
Not all of
Number
us.
14, all of us. 14 is Brandon Cooks, who I would move absolutely ahead of AJ Green at this point. We were all kind of in the middle of the rank about Brandon Cooks. But I'm more interested in talking about number 15. Number 15 is Robert Woods.
Big Bob.
Craig and I are big fans of Bob Woods. One of us in this room is not. Sean, can you please explain to me how Bob Woods did
Big
not make
Bob
your
Woods.
list when guys like Tyler Lockett and Kenny Galladay did? How the hell does Bob Woods not make your ranking?
Whoa. Woods was my 22nd. Lockett was 20th.
Okay.
Well, we did 20.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
I'm
point
sorry.
blank question. How is Kenny Galladay ranked ahead of Robert Woods? Go. Wrong. Moving on. So
Number
Robert
1
Woods-
versus number 3.
Number 1 versus number... What the hell does that even mean?
Number
Potato versus chair. What are you
Galladay's the
talking
number
about?
one- Galladay's the number 1 receiver
In
in
Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah,
Okay.
but and Woods has to compete with Henry now and with Allen and with
Who's Henry?
Henry, the
tight
tight
end?
end.
That's the wrong team,
He's
son.
San
He's on the
Diego.
Rams.
Uh,
Robert Woods plays for the Rams.
Oh,
Hunter
Rams.
Henry plays
I'm
for
sorry.
the Chargers. He is cut off.
Sorry.
Take that glass from him.
I
He has entered. He's going to guard that glass. He's going to chug it now.
I have a quick question. A guy that wasn't ranked
Yeah.
because of injury last year.
Can you save it for your final thought? I love it, but I want you to save it for your final
guess.
thought.
Galladay will be higher than Woods.
I love it for your final thought, though. Let me just move, because I'm just trying to get through this because we're actually almost out of time because I spent too much time yelling about Tyreek Hill. I should know better. So
As one
Robert Woods,
does.
we have Amari Cooper next. Everyone's big on Amari, not big, but pretty level on Amari Cooper, except for Cinch. He did not rank Amari Cooper. No, he
he
did.
did. Yes, he did.
Everybody's even on that. The next guy, Stephon Diggs. Cinch did not rank. Cinch, 10 seconds. Why not Diggs? You love Thielen. Is that why?
Diggs is a guy that'll give you 3 great games and 12 miserable games.
There you go.
That's
So
why.
you know what that makes him? A best ball prospect, but not in regular. Julian Edelman. Everyone was pretty level about Julian Edelman except the Patriot hater that is Craig.
Does
He
he
did
still
not
play?
rate him. Yes, he does.
All he does now is win Super Bowl MVPs.
Somehow Calvin Ridley made it to 19. Cooper Kupp came in at 20. I like Cooper Kupp a lot this year. 21 was Chris Godwin. Sure. Let's just move on from there. Number 22 was Kenny Galladay. Thank you, Sean. Number 23 was Sterling
Who's now
Shepard,
broken.
who is now broken again. I think he would fall out of Cinch's rankings now. 24 was Alshon Jeffrey because Craig still remembers his name. And then last was number 25 was Tyler Lockett because Sean likes Tyler Lockett and he doesn't like Robert Woods, which doesn't make a lick of sense to me. I don't get it. What are you putting your hands in the air? People can't see you.
Lockett is
This
going
is
to be
an
the
audio
number one.
broadcast.
Lockett's the number 1 in Seattle. I think he's going to end up with more.
So what you're telling me is that Russell Wilson throwing to Tyler Lockett is worth more fantasy points than Goff throwing to Bob Woods.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't think that DK Metcalf is going to have any issues like taking away from Lockett?
No, not enough.
Okay, let's go to final thoughts, and I want to start with Cinch because he has a great final thought about who's missing from this list.
I was just going to say, for Cooper Kupp, he wasn't missing. He was down at the bottom because he was injured.
Mm-hmm.
Up until the point where he was injured,
Great.
he was very good. So, is he someone who you would look to grab way higher than he's ranked because of the potential of him not being hurt? Or do you look at him as, well, he's an injury guy, he's going to get hurt again? Craig, go.
For me, injuries are really, really iffy. So depending how bad their injury was, I tend to stay away from them, even though I liked them before they got hurt, because I need to see how they can play. Like, I didn't think Andrew Luck was able to throw a ball. Then last year happened. I would draft him again. So
I had him highest rated over a potential, breakout player, comeback player this year.
And my final thought is just that Tyler Lockett had 30 fewer receptions for 300 fewer yards than Robert Woods did last year. Yeah. The only thing he's got over Robert Woods is he had 10 touchdowns to Robert Woods' 6.
No more Doug Baldwin.
That's nice.
So there you
no
go.
more offense. When has Seattle had? Seattle has not
Gotta
been
throw
good
somebody.
for a while.
you remember when
Gotta
Rashad
throw
Penny
somebody.
was going to be the
You know
next
who they're
going
going
to
to throw to? The defensive backs on the other team because Russell Wilson is not that good, kids. He isn't. All right. Wrapping up the episode, want to thank everybody for joining us. We have one more episode, which is the always exciting tight end defensive team kicker episode. Sean, you keep gesturing like people know what that means.
No, I just want. I was like, wouldn't you ask one?
Well said.
One sleeper that everyone should look at? No? Do we have time?
Fantastic.
Okay.
Well, make time.
No.
30 seconds, Sean. Go. Time. Cinch.
And Keel Harry, the Patriots rookie receiver.
Craig.
Tyler Boyd.
I like Debo Samuel. Back to Sean.
I like Pettis.
Okay. As always, follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. We are at Fignuts DFS on Twitter. fignutsdfs@gmail.com. Email us your questions. We will finish up on Saturday, I believe, with our rest of our rankings. And then next week, we will start our draft strategy stuff. I want to thank all our contributors for coming in and really helping us out with this. This has been a lot of fun. The 4-man booth is a circus, folks.
It is.
But it's a circus
and
that
it's a lot of beer.
I love it.
I love it. I actually really do enjoy it. Here's the thing. The last thought I'm going to put out there is we got to have a designated podcast driver for this because there is so much that goes on with 4 of us here. One of us has to stay sober just to point and keep things moving, and it's not going to be me next time. So the next time we do this, one of y'all is going to hand me a beer. Until then, thank you for joining us. Follow us in all those places I listed before. We'll be back soon. I am Britt.
I'm Craig.
Cinch.
I'm Sean.
And we are the Football Fig Nuts Podcast. Take care, everybody.